As people grow older, they often develop habits that unintentionally push others away. No one really warns them about this. Aging isn't just about wrinkles or slowing down. Sometimes it's the subtle behaviors that quietly erode relationships and make life feel lonelier and harder. The most difficult part: most people don't even realize they're doing it. From small daily actions to deeply ingrained attitudes, these patterns can damage quality of life without anyone meaning for it to happen. But there's good news: once these habits are recognized, they can be changed. Julie, a 71-year-old retired librarian, used to be the heart of her community. She was always chatting with neighbors, staying close with friends, and happily sharing book recommendations. But over time, things shifted. Fewer people called, visits became rare, and invitations to family gatherings slowly stopped. She initially blamed others. Maybe everyone was just busy, but deep down, she began to wonder if she had done something to drive people away. Julie didn't set out to isolate herself. It was small habits that slowly built up. She began to complain more about aches, the state of the world, how things used to be better. She stopped putting effort into how she looked, thinking, who do I need to impress? Conversations became one-sided. She talked more and listened less. She resisted new technology, refused help even when she needed it, and became more critical of change. Little by little, these behaviors created distance between her and the people she loved. Julie's story isn't unusual. Many people, without realizing it, fall into the same patterns that quietly make aging harder and more isolating. But recognizing those patterns is the first step. It's never too late to shift direction. Maintaining strong relationships and staying connected is possible with a little reflection and willingness to adapt. Julie never saw herself as a negative person. She thought she was just being honest. But with time, she found herself complaining more often about pain, politics, or younger generations' behavior. Conversations that once flowed started to fizzle. People began avoiding deeper discussions, and even her grandkids seemed distant. What she didn't see was how draining negativity can be. Even if it's justified, constant complaints push people away. No one enjoys leaving a conversation feeling worse than when they entered. She realized that by starting conversations with something positive instead, a small joy, a nice memory, or a compliment, people responded differently. They lingered, they laughed, and little by little, connection returned. Appearance, too, played a surprising role. Julie once enjoyed dressing up, smelling nice, and putting effort into her look. But gradually, that changed. She began to think it didn't matter anymore. Comfort took over, and self-care slipped away. But how we present ourselves signals how we feel inside, and it influences how others see us too. When Julie started making small changes like brushing her hair, wearing a bright blouse, or putting on a touch of lipstick, she felt the difference. She walked differently, people looked at her differently, and most importantly, she felt like herself again. She also struggled with change. Julie resisted learning new things, especially technology. Her family's texts and group chats felt foreign, and she dismissed them. If they want to talk to me, they can call, she said. But they stopped calling, not out of disrespect, but because she had removed herself from how they communicated. Once she opened up to trying new things, even just texting, a whole new world reopened. Daily pictures, quick jokes, reminders, they made her feel close again. At home, her sentimental side kept her surrounded by things. Old clothes, magazines, gifts, and keepsakes filled every corner. She told herself everything had value, but all that stuff made her space feel cramped and her mind unsettled. When she finally started letting go just one drawer at a time, she realized the emotional weight those objects carried. Decluttering wasn't about losing history. It was about making space for peace and visitors. In public, she noticed her patience thinning. Whether it was a slow cashier or a confused driver, Julie often felt herself snap. But one embarrassing moment made her pause. She had spoken sharply to a nervous young cashier, only to see his hands shaking. That's when she realized impatience doesn't just hurt others, it hurts us too. Taking a breath, offering kindness, giving grace, it made everyday moments warmer and less stressful. Julie also had a habit of talking more than listening. She loved sharing stories, giving advice, and reminiscing. But over time, she noticed her daughter pulling away. When confronted, her daughter gently said, "I don't feel heard," That conversation was a turning point. Julie learned to pause, ask questions, and listen with genuine interest. Their relationship deepened as a result. Accepting help was another challenge. She had always been fiercely independent. When someone offered to carry her groceries or assist in any way, she politely declined even when she needed it. But over time, this habit of refusing support made her feel more alone. She eventually saw that accepting help wasn't weakness, it was connection. It gave others a chance to show care and gave her a chance to feel supported. Julie had also been overly cautious with money. Even though she had enough saved, she rarely treated herself. A spontaneous trip, a meal out, or a new outfit all felt like indulgences she couldn't justify. But when she finally said yes to a weekend getaway with a friend, she felt alive again. She realized that all her saving was meant to create moments just like this, joyful, shared, and meaningful. She also realized she sometimes spoke down to younger generations without meaning to. Comments like "back in my day" made her grandson shut down. She hadn't meant to belittle his world, but it came across that way. When she chose curiosity over comparison, asking what he liked about his games or school, he lit up. They laughed. They bonded. She learned that connection across generations comes from interest and respect, not correction. There were emotional weights Julie carried for years: regrets, past arguments, unresolved pain. She held onto them like old luggage, too heavy to carry, but too familiar to set down. A conversation with a neighbor helped her see how much those old wounds were keeping her from enjoying life. Now, writing them down and letting them go even symbolically freed her. She felt lighter, more present. Finally, ignoring health symptoms nearly cost her dearly. Dismissing her dizziness as just aging, she fell one morning and ended up in the hospital. That moment shook her. She realized that paying attention to her health didn't mean becoming fragile, it meant staying strong. After recovery, she became more proactive, scheduling checkups, staying hydrated, and taking small steps toward wellness. Julie also forgot the importance of fun. Life had become repetitive chores: TV, sleep, laughter was rare, but a movie night with a friend changed everything. She laughed until she cried and remembered how good it felt to just enjoy something. From that day on, she made space for fun, dancing in her kitchen, singing old songs, inviting laughter into her daily life. All those small habits added up, but so did the changes. By shifting her mindset, letting go of what no longer served her, and embracing connection, curiosity, and joy, Julie didn't just feel happier, she felt younger. Her daughter called more, neighbors visited again, and strangers returned her smiles. Now it's your turn. Think about your own life. Which habits might be shaping your relationships? Which small change can you start today? Aging is inevitable, but how we age, that's something we can choose.